Hey guys! And recently, I've seen a decent amount of discussion about open world games because we've been getting a lot of information about Mario Kart World over the past month and a half, and we also got a new trailer for GTA 6 as well, so open world games have definitely been a relevant discussion, but over the past couple years, I've seen a negative stigma kind of arise out of all of these open world games we've been getting, and I especially have been seeing it in the Nintendo community. I feel like a lot of Nintendo fans have kind of felt burnt out by open world games, or just burned by certain open world games, like Pokemon's Scarlet and Violet, but I actually understand that sentiment a lot, and I kind of felt that way a couple of years ago too, because of that game that I mentioned before, and also Tears of the Kingdom as well. While Tears of the Kingdom is one of my favorite games of all time, it did kind of make me feel a little burnt out by open world games for a while, but now I'm kind of seeing that there's a lot more nuance to open world games. Like, I mean, after all, they're just big, giant open worlds. They could really have anything going on in them. They're not really gonna feel like one collective experience. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that I have a goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before the Nintendo Switch 2 launches, so if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and if I hit that goal, I will give away a copy of Mario Kart World. But with open world games, I can understand a lot of the criticism behind them, because I have certain criticisms behind certain open world games, even the ones that I love. Like, sometimes the worlds can feel too empty, and I mean, yeah, sometimes empty areas make sense in certain contexts, like if it's an action-oriented game, it kind of provides some like downtime when traveling between certain areas, so I can kind of understand that to a degree, but it can make traveling across a world a bit monotonous, or it can make the world feel a little boring if there isn't too much to do. And then another criticism that I see is that a game is open world when it shouldn't have been, and there are many cases where like that is kind of the case where a game really shouldn't have been open world. Like, I honestly kind of feel that way a little bit about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yes, that open world could have been handled better, but and yes, Pokemon should evolve, but with that game, I feel like the open world was kind of poorly executed, and it didn't have proper level scaling, and it didn't really feel like a true open world at times. It feels like you were kind of relegated to being into certain areas, so at that point, it felt like it really didn't need that open world too much. You could disagree with me all you want in the comments, because I haven't played that game in over 2 years, so I might be talking complete nonsense here. But another example I see is Mario Kart World, and with that game, I think it's too early to tell, because Mario Kart doesn't need to be open world, of course, but with Mario Kart World, I think this is a case where we should at least give it a chance. I mean, if you don't want to spend the $80, then that is completely fair if you don't want to give it a chance. But with the people who are kind of on the fence about this game, or thinking that it shouldn't be an open world, I feel like it's too early to say that. Because I think the open world here could be handled well, and I think an open world Mario Kart game is a great idea. I think it's a really cool idea that you could actually just drive around anywhere, and just, you could like basically drive across the entire map. That is cool. I think that's a great idea, even though Mario Kart doesn't necessarily need to be an open world game. I think it's really cool that they're making it into like one big world with all the tracks together. It kind of expands upon the idea that Double Dash introduced, where you have like different tracks like kind of visible in the background. So this is a case where I feel like we should kind of give it a chance here and see if the open world is executed well or not. There are concerns, of course, with things like free roam having enough missions or collectibles or not, but just in general, with the fact that this game is open world, I think we kind of have to wait and see if this needed to be an open world or not. So I just think that's something that's a little too early to tell. But with this stigma of kind of surrounding open world games, I think a lot of it is due to generalizations. Like, a lot of people see an open world game like Breath of the Wild or different things like that and just assume that all of them are the same, or all of them share the same issues between each other, which is not true at all. Like, Breath of the Wild will not have the same issues as Elden Ring, and Elden Ring won't have the same issues as GTA 6, and GTA 6 won't have the same issues as Mario Kart World. They're all going to differ in certain ways. One may feel emptier than another. One may have some issues with how it's designed and fleshed out, while others could have a lot of strength with its open world. I think we really shouldn't be making these generalizations here, and I think that's a lot of what a lot of people are doing. Like, I see a lot of people nowadays saying, everything is an open world. I think we're getting way too many open world games nowadays. But the thing is with that, open world is not a genre. Open world is a kind of more of a format than anything, or a layout for how like a game could be. Like, either a game is segmented into different areas, or it's like one big open world. But a lot of different genres can work within open world. Like, of course, we're seeing like racing with Forza Horizon and Mario Kart World, or action RPGs like Xenoblade X or Elden Ring, or full-on action adventure games like Breath of the Wild. There are a lot of different genres that open world games can have. So I think it's really best to not generalize all open world games into the same kind of sentiment, because different genres can handle open worlds differently, I would say, and I think it's best to discuss open worlds within those different genres, or how they could work within those different genres there. And I also see a lot of people saying that not every game has to be an open world, and that is something that I completely agree with. However, I do see that sentiment being used a little negatively, or pushing that statement a little too far, like no more games should be open world. I kind of see that, if someone's kind of theorizing about a game in a certain series being open world, a new 3D Mario game should be open world, or a new Paper Mario game should be open world. I usually see people go in and say, I don't think this should be open world. We already have enough open world games. But like I said, we really shouldn't treat open world games as a collective. It could be handled differently. And the thing is, I do completely agree that not every game should be open world. I think that would be ridiculous. And I do think there are some series that don't need to be open world, like 3D Mario, or even Paper Mario. But I still think it's definitely healthy and fair to kind of have ideas about these games being open world. Like, if you want an open world Paper Mario game, I think it's kind of cool to think about the ideas that it could have, even though it doesn't really need to be an open world. I think it's still fair for people to kind of brainstorm and think of these ideas. Or if a certain game in a series is announced to get its first open world game, I think more people should be open to it being open world, because in Mario Kart World's case, the open world kind of seems like an extra thing here. The main thing is obviously the races, and the races will work the same way that they did in the other games, as long as you have it to a certain setting. I know it has the thing where you could drive in between them. I know that will work a little differently, but the same core idea of Mario Kart is here. You could play Mario Kart World like you do Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You could just play through the Grand Prix or Versus mode and different things, with your preferred settings. So the open world is really just an extra aspect of it. It's not really hurting the game too much. And the thing is, like with open world games, and with the issues that some of them have, the issues that they have aren't inherently caused by the fact that the game is open world. Like, if it's empty, that's not really because it's an open world, it's because the open world was poorly designed. That's, like, kind of the issue there. It's not because it's an open world, because I feel like a lot of people like to just blame the fact that it's an open world. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been seeing here. I just think the whole idea of open world games is just kind of a little overhated, I would say. Like, a lot of people say, like, that we shouldn't get any more open world games, but I feel like open world games isn't a collective, like I said. There are a lot of different ideas, and it, like, really the only, like, overarching idea that they all have is that it's just one big world that you can explore, and, like, every game is gonna handle it differently. We really shouldn't have the same types of, like, concerns between every game. There, of course, it is healthy to have certain concerns, but I don't think that should consume the whole discussion about certain games. But that's kind of my take on it. While I do have a lot of criticisms about certain open world games, I think we really should kind of treat each one differently. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!